on in.
Hi, Robert.
Hey.
Hi, Chris Hauser and Alec Berger with Fasternal. How are you doing today?
Good.
Mind if we take a seat?
Yeah, come on in, guys.
Thank you very much. Before we do get started today, here are our business cards, and just to give you a little bit more background, I myself am the store manager from our Whitewater branch, and Alec is one of our vending specialists, also out of the Whitewater branch.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Can you believe the weather we've been having in October?
Yeah, it's beautiful, huh?
When was the last time you've seen snow on Halloween?
Yeah, a little early, but remember a few times when I was a kid, but not for many years since then.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
nothing
be
in my memory I can remember from.
It's gonna be interesting to see how the trick-or-treaters take tonight on. So
yeah, for sure.
yeah, Mike mentioned we had about 15 minutes for today's meeting. Does that still stand?
Yeah, 15 is good.
Okay. To stay true to that 15 minutes, we did want to take the liberty of setting an agenda, if that's all right with you. What we wanted to talk about today is learn a little bit more about you and your goals at Ski Master. Secondly, learn a little bit more about your business situation, any challenges
You
you
guys
may
mind
be
if I take
facing.
notes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Great.
Yeah, sure. And thirdly, summarize our last discussion with Mike. And lastly, if you see fit, see how Fasternal Ski Master can be a beneficial partner. Does that all sound great?
Yep, sounds good.
Good. And regarding decision-making process, what would it look like moving forward?
Well, I think I'm a plant manager, so
Plant manager.
and obviously you guys know Mike. Mike's the operations manager. I'm basically in charge of the P&L and making sure we're making money here. And,
Sure.
Mike's in charge of making sure the operations roll through. So us two would probably be the primary decision makers.
Okay, sounds good. To gauge your familiarity, how familiar are you with Fasternal?
I know a little bit. I know you guys come in. You have a sales rep. Your sales rep comes in once in a while. Sells a lot of different commodities. We mostly get nuts and bolts and stuff like that from you guys.
Okay. Yeah, and I'd love to share a little bit more. Give you a high-level overview. At Fasternal, we do offer solutions and services which really help reduce your inventory costs, your touches, and your supply chain waste. Does that help give you a better idea of what we do at Fasternal?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, and I guess starting out, I'd like to summarize our last meeting with Mike. From my notes, he did mention that you guys are currently focusing on reducing on-hand inventory and inventory costs, more specifically 10% before next quarter, and reducing your 10 MRO vendors and just bringing those down to single digits, and overall making your inventory management more effective at Ski Master. Does that all sound accurate?
Well, for the most part, yeah, except for Mike, he shut our lines down for 4 hours.
I did.
Third shift, not having supplies there too. So
Okay.
yeah, we have goals, of course, that we have to answer to, and 10%, is kind of the goal that we're trying to hit. But at the same time, we can't reduce our inventory to the point where we're shutting down our lines for 4 hours.
I don't want that to happen.
No.
We'd love to touch on that a little bit more during today's discussion. I guess I'll turn it over to Alec and ask you a little bit more about you and your business.
Sure.
Yeah, so just continuing off those goals, you just said the 10% reduction in inventory inventory costs. So what are some of your other goals you have as it relates to inventory management?
Well, of course, price is always important, and from what I know from you guys, is you guys have always been more expensive. Prices have been a little high. So while we're trying to reduce our base that we're buying from, we're also looking for the lower cost too. So, I don't know how much lower we're going to get with that base when we're trying to find a better cost all the time too.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're trying to produce as much as possible and really streamline our operations so that our guys aren't running all over the place. We had to run to the hardware store for several times to keep the line running and stuff like that. And of course, we have some issues around Christmas time. We got batteries that disappear. I don't know why batteries disappear at Christmas time, but all of a sudden we're short on batteries, and then all of a sudden we can lose production for just something as simple as that. So I guess those are a few of the issues that we're having.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing. I know Mike touched on that as well. So what does it mean for Ski Master when you guys are running out of these supplies? Or for instance, the 4-hour stoppage on the third shift. What did that mean? What did that cause in terms of loss of revenue?
Well, obviously on the third shift shutdown like that, nobody's there, and I kind of send everybody home, and if we're not making something, we're not making money. So it really affects our P&L when we can't produce.
How many employees do you have on that third shift when it was stopped for 4
There's
hours?
about 25 people.
25 employees, okay. And did you said you sent them all home, or did you have
No,
them
no,
wait?
but they didn't go home. They were waiting for the parts.
Okay, so
Trying to figure out how to get parts, so everyone was just kind of sitting there idle.
you have 25 people sitting on the clock for 4 hours and they're not able to produce anything, which would
Right.
mean that they're just sitting there not making any money.
Right.
What would be the average cost for an employee on that?
A loaded cost with insurance and benefits and all that, it's probably around $30 an hour.
$30 an hour. So you're looking at $600, $700 an hour for having a stop in production, and you said it was down for 4 hours.
Correct.
So that's over $2,000 that you guys lost out on from just paying your employees not to be working, but as well as loss of revenue.
Correct.
And so how do you currently manage your inventory?
Well, we have what's called a Kanban system. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but
I am not.
so you got two cards here, and you have two bins full. When this bin is empty, this card has to go to a guy that is going to reorder this part, and the next one comes forward. And then when this bin is full, that one comes back here. So in theory, you should never run out of parts. Now, of course, if you take this card and then you take the card with you and you never put it back in this pile over here to get reordered, it doesn't get reordered, then this one gets used, and next thing you know, no one tells us, hey, we're out of this.
Yeah.
We just run out.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like at home when you run out of toilet paper. Kids running out.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, hey, where's my toilet paper, right? Same thing here. You know, we run out of something and no one says anything, and boom, we're out.
So there's no direct way of telling how much each employee is taking for each shift, or how many supplies they're using?
No, I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell that because, you know, Dan's one of our guys that works in maintenance, and you can go look at Dan's toolbox and it's full of supplies. So he may take out 6 and he only needs 1, but he hoards 5 away. And another employee might just take 1 like he's supposed to. So, you know,
it's hard to keep track of all
there's a lot of hoarding going on and stuff like that where they're trying to keep inventory so they don't run out.
Okay. And then what does that mean for Ski Master financially when people are taking too much of what they need?
Well, I think that goes back to where we said we need to cut back on an inventory.
Okay.
We have too much. I mean, we should not be have this much inventory and be running out of product, right?
Okay, so if you were able to have a system that allows you to track how much employees are using for each product, as well as manage how much they're allowed to take at one time, do you think that would be more beneficial and help managing your inventory and reducing those costs by 10%?
Well, I would certainly entertain it and listen to it.
Okay, awesome. And then one more question before we start wrapping things up. What does your ideal inventory management system look like? If you were able to specially design one, what would that look like for you?
Well, that's a hard question. You know, it needs to be something that we have visibility so that we know exactly what's on the shelf.
Okay.
And have the visibility to know when something's not there any longer. So I need to know when something's run out, so that we can order it in advance, so that we're not chasing stuff down at the hardware store and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one more question. Mike mentioned that you guys have over 10 vendors for your MRO supplies. What would you like that number to be? Would you like to cut that number by just a couple, or would cut it in half? Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, really, I want to lower our costs and lower our inventory and not run out of parts. If I have 30 vendors doing that, I'd be okay with that. If I got one vendor doing that, I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
Obviously, one vendor is easy to kind of control than 30 vendors, but at the same time, I can't run out of parts.
Okay.
Right.
So your focus is on making sure that you have enough parts, but also aren't ordering too many, not specifically how many people you're getting them from or where.
Yeah, and like I said earlier too, I gotta keep an eye on cost too. I know that you guys are higher priced than another one, so I can't exclusively spend that much more with Fasternal than I can buy it from. So, you know, a different catalog helps.
Yes. A lot of customers feel that way and think that we would have higher prices. We are very competitive with our supplies that we do deal out to companies, but we help save them money through efficiency of the system, not necessarily through cost of prices. Great you asked. I had brought a presentation along today. I can show you a little bit more about how our vending solutions would work perfectly for some of the goals and challenges you're trying to reach and overcome. go. So we are the largest dealer or supplier of industrial vending machines and have numerous amounts of locations that are able to supply those and help our customers reach their goals. So we are customer success obsessed, and we focus on your success is our success. So seeing you guys have a return on investment is really what we're in business for. So our solutions are these vending machines. We would supply or install them at your locations, in the different locations across the floor, depending on what supplies are needed in different areas. And those come with 24/7 support and management of those. And what really separates us from the rest of our competitors is the cost savings we're able to use. So 30% reduction in baseline consumption is what we've been seeing across the board. And this comes from multiple touch points of data. We have over 100,000 vending machines in service right now, some with Fortune 5 companies and other very large companies. In some instances, we're able to save those companies up to 60% on their inventory costs, but on average, we're saving customers about 30%. So although you were concerned about having the maybe a little higher marked up supplies, we do save you money on the back end through efficient management services. So when you run out of, we would stock the vending machines as soon as you would hit a minimum number. Fasternal would come in and restock that machine and all those spots that hit the minimums that very next day. We also have a maximum set to how many that can be in there at once, which would be a number set by you. And then each time we stock it, we would fill it to that.
And one of the things that you mentioned before is that when those outages do occur, that you're running to the store, you're really running to different people to get those parts. Having one vendor that can rely on for inventory management, Fasternal can come in, make sure those min and max numbers are hit. That way we don't have to run to the store and occur any of those outages ever again.
And to go back to the outage that happened, the 4-hour delay that cost you $2,000-$3,000 just in employees wasting time. With our vending machine systems, that will never happen. So as soon as that alarm gets triggered that the inventory is low, we will come in and replenish that right away. So that eliminates the possibility of running out of material, as well as we're putting in the specific amounts that you would want. So you're not going to be overspending or over purchasing items. Is that making sense?
It does. I don't know how we're going to be able to afford vending machines though.
Also another common concern with our customers. So the vending machines we would install for free. The only cost that comes within them is paying for what's in the vending machines, and every time you use it, and then when you restock is when you would be charged, as well as a $40 software fee per vending machine. That's it as far as cost. So the vending machine doesn't cost you any money besides the $40.
And now with that, you get the vending machine, the customer service aspect, and all the inventory management that goes along with that.
So you guys are going to come and fill the machine, and then I get charged, what's the $40 for?
That's for the software. We use proprietary software through Apex, which is one of the industry leaders in vending technology. And that's proprietary, so that $40 is a baseline, but all the things that you get with it is what's all included in the Fasternal vending machines.
So what happens when it breaks down?
That is Fasternal will have someone there that day to come in and fix that machine. You'll get an alarm that would internally trigger that would say this function isn't working in the vending machine, or if you notice something, you could give us a call and we'll be there that day to have one of our reps fix it.
Yeah.
And then if the power goes out, then what do we do? We can't get to our supplies?
So the power is often something that does come up with our clients dealing with warehouses and inventory management. Not everybody is using Wi-Fi, and power does go out, and it does work off an internal server so that the machines do work even if an outage were to occur.
Cool.
Yeah. Are there any other questions you had about the vending machine?
I don't think so.
Okay, so based on what we've heard and some of the goals that you're trying to reach, how that 10% reduction in inventory costs, as well as the challenges you're facing of running out of inventory, having 4-hour delays, and sometimes buying too much and still running out of inventory, we believe that these vending machines would be an ideal solution for Ski Master in helping you solve some of those challenges. So how large is your production facility?
We have about 200 production employees.
200 production employees. Okay, so with a company of that size, we would recommend implementing 3 vending machines, one on each side of the facility as well as the middle, having your MROs on the supplies needed for production.
Yeah, and that's usually like an industry average that we've seen with the clients we work with.
All right, can we get some quotes done too, or some price quotes on this, on the parts?
The parts would be simply what the parts cost. So anytime you come to Fasternal for supplies, it would be the same cost as there.
Yep.
The
You
only
pay for what
difference
you
is
use.
we're stocking that in the vending machine and it's ready to go for you. You don't have to drive to our store. We'll bring it to you.
Okay.
So how does 3 vending machines sound? That would be the $40 a month for each service or for the software fee, but there's no upfront cost to install.
And then if we're not satisfied, they don't work, can you take them back, or?
There is no contract.
Yep. There's no contracts, so although we do have a high customer satisfaction, we usually don't deal with that much. So,
But yes, you would be able to.
To-
So if you want to send,
Okay, door's open, guys.
All right, we'll give it a try.
4 seconds. Well, hopefully the judges are kind too. We'll see what they do. All right, hit stop on this.
the red one.